Pleasant good day to all of my YouTube fans across the world. Once again, it's my pleasure to be speaking to you from the beautiful island of St. Martin. And as I speak to you, besides being in St. Martin, in the back of us, if you can make out the peaks, if you can't make it out, I'll still tell you, we have the islands of St. Lucia, Saba, and Nevis. All of these islands, beautiful Caribbean islands, are not too far from us. And it's indeed our pleasure to speak to you, thinking of the Caribbean as a whole. So today's episode is not a normal presentation from me, but all the same is an important presentation featuring a very important area of Caribbean development, which is film and film development. And due to my participation in the 21st Annual Book Fair hosted by the Conscious Lyrics Foundation at the University of St. Martin, I met a very talented son of the Caribbean, Mr. Peter Bailey, from the beautiful island of St. Thomas, currently resident in Miami, Florida, and who has a passion for filmmaking and a passion for communicating the stories of Caribbean people to the world. So I'd now like to welcome Mr. Peter Bailey and give him the opportunity to first of all introduce himself, and further after we'll get into the discussion. So Mr. Bailey, could you tell the world who you are?
First of all, thank you for the platform and thank you for the work you're doing in the Caribbean. Well, I'm an author, filmmaker, and journalist. For many years, writing for Time Magazine, Newsweek Magazine, the Miami Herald, and launched a very popular podcast called Nightcap, sitting with different stars and newsmakers, having rich, positive, socially conscious conversations. And then after the hurricanes, I was inspired to basically, like you said, start, in my way to add to pushing our people forward in the Caribbean by capturing our stories through film with the series Paradise Discovered.
Well, viewers, listeners, he didn't speak for long, but the little that he said, I began by saying we have an illustrious son of the Caribbean with us. And he's not just a filmmaker, he's also an author, he is also a journalist. And as a son of the Caribbean, being recruited to work for Time Magazine, Newsweek, the Miami Herald, we know the many cases of discrimination in the United States of America. But when your talent is so overwhelming, you can break down any barrier. And this gentleman has a lot to say, So I thank you for the introduction, and I would like you to, first of all, tell the listeners and viewers what is filmmaking, what drives it, and what kind of possibilities can be acquired through this medium.
Well, basically, filmmaking is basically anything you capture on a visual medium. So basically, anything you capture on a film is filmmaking. So the beauty of filmmaking is, as writers, as authors, we capture stories of our culture and our people in the written word. So all film is, we're capturing the same story, showcasing our people on film. Why is that important? The world has changed. We now live in an age where people speak through video. The children are all on their cameras, they're on Instagram. So in other words, video has become a new form of communication. So basically what I do is present our people's stories to the larger world on film. Why is that important? Because, for many years, our people in the Caribbean region, we have not had the access to capture our stories on film. We have not had the access to present our stories in our authentic voices, Caribbean people. Because as you know, someone else that doesn't look like us, doesn't sound like us, is usually telling the story. And it's even more so important because, for our elders, their wisdom, for the things you're seeing, these are things we have to capture on video so his knowledge, his wisdom can stand the test of time. So when me and you are gone 100 years from now, the world sees the magnificent beauty of who we are. The children get to play this over and over again to say, hey, we're a strong, amazing people. So for me, it's a God blessing. I feel it's my divine purpose to showcase our people the right way, Not the way a lot of times you see the TV commercials depicting our people like, we're less than, or we're not as intelligent, or we're not as deserving. You said something in one of your videos, which is true. Life is about having the confidence, the self-belief to go to the next level. You also talked about success. Through video, we can capture this. We can capture this knowledge to share with people forever and ever. Because not all of our children understand words in a written form.
Right.
But most people can understand video.
Right.
So video just enables you to reach so many more people than say a book. A book cannot circulate as far, but this video can just go worldwide.
So listeners and viewers, his analysis is very powerful. Many of us are involved in filmmaking and we're not aware. Anything captured on video constitutes a film, all right? And as he rightly said, I am a strong proponent of literacy, but many people are using the medium of videos to learn. And videos in learning, certainly videos are very critical in learning. It has a wider reach, and as he rightly said, we need to capture our Caribbean stories in its authenticity and share it with the world so that we can promote our people. As you heard Mr. Bailey spoke, Mr. Bailey is very passionate about this, And I can say safely, if you have an interest in film, Mr. Bailey certainly is one to contact. But what I would like to ask him now is, what are the economic possibilities of filmmaking in the Caribbean?
Oh man, after the hurricanes, our region got devastated because tourism. It fractured the tourism economy. So for years, our region got devastated because tourism. It fractured the tourism economy. So for years, all the world sees us for is the beaches, the tourism. So that's our only money source. So when the hurricanes came, the tourists stopped coming. It crippled this region of the Caribbean. It crippled the Virgin Islands, St. Martin, Anguilla. So what does film do? Film creates a whole new economy. When you produce a film in a region, it's not only you're creating jobs for camera people, but also the people who drive the camera people. You're paying the location people where you have to film. You're paying writers. A lot of these young men in our communities, we can hire them to drive people around. We can hire them to help assist us on the film production. So not only we're creating an economy of jobs, we're also creating a positive outlet for the youth. Furthermore, when we film iconic scenes in our spaces, people want to travel the world to see, hey, I just saw that movie about St. Martin. I want to travel to see where that thing was filmed. So if you look at Los Angeles makes all of its money on the film industry. Not only the people it's hiring, the actors, the writers, the assistants, it's also the fact that it's made Los Angeles a place where people want to travel to see these historic films, where these historic films were set. And look at our backdrop. The Caribbean is arguably probably the most beautiful place on God's cherished earth. So it's just, it lends itself well to film. There's no reason why our Caribbean film industry shouldn't be forefront like Hollywood, Nollywood, and Bollywood.
Listeners and viewers, I hope you are paying close attention to what filmmaker Mr. Peter Bailey has said. Filmmaking is a whole powerful new industry in the context of the Caribbean that can help solve our economic woes. There are many talented young people and other people in this region. There are many people into this type of stuff. They need guidance, they need to understand the architecture, and they need to be able to conceive of the possibilities. As he so rightly said, people can get driving jobs. People have a job in terms of the handling of the equipment, right? Writers, etc. And once you have a story, it can certainly be put into a film. In a private discussion, Mr. Bailey, he mentioned the most telling point, that data is gold. And that goal can be communicated through films. Could you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Years ago, the revolution, why film is good for the Caribbean is because years ago, before the internet, before the digital real estate, you needed hard, cold cash. And a lot of our people don't have that capital. But with video, with data is, to explain what data is, when you're on Facebook, anything you share and post, When you're on Instagram, anything you share and post, that's data. So who owns that data? We have to make sure we own this data, because when I say it's gold, you have young people on YouTube videos making exceptional money from their advertising. And what is data? We're filming this. We didn't need an expensive camera crew. All we needed was an iPhone and me and you in a great conversation, and now we're creating data which we can sell, which we can redistribute to the masses. So when we're on social media, guys, when we're on Facebook, when we're on Instagram, be cognizant of know the value. I think a lot of our people in the region don't know the value of what they're posting and what they're sharing. The new revolution is definitely data. Who owns the data? So we have to create more filmmakers, more people sharing content. So Caribbean people now, our content from the Caribbean, data is pushing the narrative, which in turn open up a lot of more opportunities for the world to see who we are, which opens up room for investment.
Listeners and viewers, what you have been given today in this discussion here can open new doors and new opportunities for you. And I don't know if Mr. Bailey has anything further to add, but I think he has set the platform for you to move forward. I would like Mr. Bailey to share his contact information, because talent is never short in this region. And many persons are struggling to get by. Data is gold. Creating the content, owning the content, packaging the content, and creating a better life for ourselves. So Bailey correctly said, there are children on YouTube that are making millions of dollars. Why not the Caribbean children also become part of the game in making millions of dollars? So Bailey, would you like any other words to add in concluding, besides giving them your contact information?
I would just say, eliminate fear. You know, this new film industry, I know for a lot of us in the Caribbean, we're accustomed to one way of doing things, but change is good. So step into your life, embrace God, pray, and anything is possible. Once you have a belief that you can do it. You know, a lot of our young people in the region suffer from a lack of belief. So our people have to understand belief. How does film help belief? Because when we start seeing films about Caribbean people in a positive light, it instills pride. So yes, I can be reached at 1305-742-1520. That's the main office. And you know, any help, advice, I'm there. I'm a busy guy, but I'll try to reach out as fast as possible. On social media, it's I am Peter Bailey. That's I am Peter Bailey, L-E-Y, on Instagram and Twitter. And Facebook, Nightcap Media, N-I-T-E-C Media. The YouTube channel is Nightcap, N-I-T-E-C-A-P, with Peter.
Viewers and listeners, seize this opportunity. Seize this opportunity. Caribbean youth, Caribbean people, reach out to Mr. Bailey, because it was very critical. It was indeed a pleasure speaking with this great son of the Caribbean. We remind you to like the video, to comment on it, share. Remember to support the work of this channel by contributing. It was indeed a pleasure speaking with this great son of the Caribbean. We remind you to like the video, to comment on it, share. Remember to support the work of this channel by contributing via the account information flashing on the screen, via the Wipay link. And of course, you can partake in our courses, ongoing courses. You can seek us out for counseling, coaching, and mentorship services. Just give us a call at 1-868-778-5141, 1-868-779-2544, or email us at leadershipwithindifference@gmail.com. It was indeed a pleasure speaking with my colleague and comrade from the Caribbean, Mr. Peter Bailey. Thank you very much for participating in the discussion. So bye, take care, reach out to him, and let's build the film industry in the Caribbean. Take care.